I stuffed a V8 engine into a personal watercraft. And then put a turbo on there. Earlier this year, we lost our third engine on this machine. Instead of rebuilding it the right way, we did it the more backyard do-it-yourself way. Now the question you'll be wondering is, does the engine survive when we get it out there on the water? And will it hold together long enough to hit our goal of 100 plus miles per hour? Or will we lose another engine? On the last day of testing, the V8 had to be towed back to shore. Now we've got this thing all patched up and we're about to head out for our next day of testing. So come along for the ride as we dive into our fourth day back testing on the LS V8 Turbo Personal Watercraft. Back out here day whatever it is of testing, maybe 3 or 4, and it was the easy fix. There's nothing really wrong with it except for the tune for when it was a certain temperature was not right, and then I didn't have enough battery to keep trying. It doesn't have a large battery in it. I didn't show any of that on video because I couldn't imagine anybody being interested in building a fuel offset table for temperature. Yeah, we're gonna drop it back in. I think we're getting closer and closer on the tune, and just do what we do. Run some runs, look at some data, and someday we're gonna be able to get up there in the RPMs and make some speed. All right, this just will it start? I think it will. Downloading the data log files right now. It takes a little bit of time. I'm trying to take really small steps. The tune is safe right now. So what's happening is once we get above 2700 RPM, our AFR goes down to about a 10.5, which is not exactly our target, but it's, you know, it's rich. So it's safe, but I'm trying a few little things to see kind of what it's going to do before I start even messing with fuel cells. So I don't think being that rich is going to hurt it. So it just might not be as fast, but yeah. I'm sort of happy with where the tune is, although it goes very rich once we get above 2400 RPM. I can tell when the oil heats up because it goes from about 40 PSI idle to about 30. It's a really good day for it, at least.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm accomplishing nothing. It's kind of fun, but it hasn't blown up.
It almost looked like you were riding it for fun.
Yeah, I was doing that little swervy durly thing just for the video, but it all looks great.
Wow.
In the sense that it's safe. It's only ever too rich. It's never too lean. I shouldn't say that. It does do lean spikes on D-cell, but it's kind of like, is that a lean spike or is that a sensor with not enough tailpipe? So this is on a D-cell. It has a lean spike of, it's wanting a 12.3 to 1 air fuel, and it lean spikes to a 12.7. So it's not like, oh, we're spiking bad. No.
Are the people watching this just going to say, Josh, why aren't you taking this to a professional tuning shop?
Yeah, they probably will say that.
What in the world would a professional tuning shop say about this?
Well, they'd probably be able to dial these tables in a lot faster than I can. So, can you imagine somebody riding on the back with a laptop? Hold it at 2,000 RPM. Hold it at 5,000 RPM. Like, yeah, it's not going to work.
Probably only works that way if you have a boat.
Yeah, exactly. I adjusted the tune. I hated those numbers. Hated it. I'm just gonna go back to what it was.
Yeah, we went 80 miles an hour, but I don't know exactly what's going on, but the boost numbers should be higher than what we're seeing. We're only in about 7 pounds, so back to the garage, I guess.
Okay, well, before I got too carried away taking the top off this thing, I decided to check some of the easy stuff, and boy, did I find something. First thing I checked was the blow-off valve, and that was fine, and then I checked the tubing or the piping, the turbo piping, and that looks totally fine. And then I found it! So you're probably aware that I got rid of this weird air intake setup for the turbo this year. What you might not know is that I replaced that with a simple turbo guard and water screen setup. And what I found was the pointy nut on the turbo made a hole right there on the turbo guard and the water filter. I should be able to throw up some old footage of the turbo where you can see that really pointy nut, and with it stabbed through these things, these were acting like a brake, slowing the turbo down from spinning as fast as it could. So with the speed of the turbo being slowed down, that would make the boost number smaller or lower. So I would say that day 4 didn't go great, but it didn't go horrible. I was able to figure out this small issue, and I'm just gonna get rid of this stuff, and we're gonna go without it and hope we don't suck up any bolts or water into the turbo, because that would be bad. But I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I can't wait to get this thing back out on the water. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss what happens next on the V8 Turbo Personal Watercraft.